So I got these new orchids and they came in terrible, terrible conditions, and I don't know if I'm going to be able to save them or not. But you can see just how terrible they are. So I've taken off as much of the rotting dead roots as I can, but you can see that that's pretty much everything. And I've been soaking them in some black tea to rehydrate them, and they are recovering a little bit. They're not as floppy as they were, but I'm pretty sure that I don't know. Well, over the last couple days that it's been soaking in black tea, I'm seeing a new growth right there, so there may still be some hope. It was ate up with ants. There was ants all through its pot. So I'm just going through and doing a couple different things and hoping that it's going to survive. And praying that it'll live. Because it really doesn't have any healthy anything, not even air roots. It was really, really in really bad shape. And these floated over really, really easy. It had mostly yellow leaves. Had like 4 yellow leaves, solid yellow leaves that I took off. And it didn't have any new growth, so seeing this new growth is exciting. There might be another little nub coming in down there too, which is great. And black tea has tannic acid, which is supposed to encourage them to grow. So, and it looks like it's working. I'm telling you, in just a few days, I'm already seeing these little growths. So we might be in luck. I'm hoping I saved this poor little baby. And I've got a bunch of new ones actually, and I've got them all right now soaking in this black tea. And this is about a gallon of water that I have sitting on a heating pad. And I put 4 tea bags in it. But the first day, 2 days ago, I put 6. And yesterday I put 5 tea bags in a gallon of water. Today it's 4 tea bags in a gallon of water. I'm kind of weaning it off that. And eventually it'll be all clear. You can see where the ants were just eating at it. This one had a better root system. And I am seeing some new growth there as well that was not on it before. So that is great already in just 3 days. And these leaves perked up a lot too. They're getting a lot harder. It's coming along. Just takes time. And I sprayed the roots first with alcohol peroxide combination. The first day I did that, I put about 2 teaspoons, maybe 3 teaspoons of peroxide and 2 capfuls of rubbing alcohol, and filled this with distilled water. Sprayed the roots directly, and then I put them in this in this black tea mix. And then I take them out at night, and I set them on a towel at night and let them completely dry out overnight. And I tell you, the roots were just awful looking on all of them. And since spraying the roots in the last 3 days, They're looking fuller, plumper, healthier. Um, I'm just very pleased with the way it's turned out. And then this one also was in very, very, very bad shape where I couldn't save anything hardly on them. Not even the air roots, really. And I am seeing new growth now as well on that, so yay. Also, this one had a lot of yellow leaves, and it didn't have that new little baby in there. So that's good to see too, just in 3 days. But this one was all folded over like this, all the way over. And I could not get the leaf to straighten out for nothing, and now you see that the leaf is straightening out, and it's not curled over to the other side, touching the other leaf on the opposite side, which is great. So I've seen changes in just 3 days, small but happening. And every morning before I put it back, there's a little new thing right there. Every morning I put it back in there, and before I put it back in the tea, there's another new one over there. Before I put it back in the tea, I spray it again with that mixture of distilled water, alcohol, and peroxide. And then I put it back in this black acid. So we're praying for it. I'm hoping it's gonna do okay. I think it will. I'm seeing a lot of good signs. So this will be the last day that I do the black tea soak, and I will start soaking them in clean, fresh, distilled water until they are completely supple, shiny, and healthy, and hard. They should be hard. They should not be able to bend easily, and they are getting harder to bend, so that is good too. And then I will put them in a new pot that I got. I got it a lot larger than they recommend, because I plan to combine all of my orchids into one pot. A heavier pot makes it less likely to tip over, for one. It puts a lot of weight to it. And that's why I'm doing that, because we live in an RV. We're planning to travel. There's going to be a lot of movement. I want to lessen the chance of the pots falling, getting, knocked over and stuff like that. So this is actually going to be a hanging basket. I've already drilled the holes. I've got to do the wire for it. I got my orchid mix that I'm planning to use. And this is the old stuff that I had for it. It's actually brand new stuff that I combined it in there. But I learned, it was my first orchid, and I learned since then about rehabilitating them and what to do when they're dehydrated like mine was, and about cutting off the dead roots. So I uprooted it and cut off the dead roots, and going through that rehabilitation process now, which is why they're in the black tea. I've seen where people are using glass pots that they're drilling holes in, but again, due to the traveling that we're planning to do, I don't want to use glass, because if it does fall, it'll break. Glass can break really easily. So I had to stick to the plastic, and I just went ahead and drilled holes all the way around it, in the bottom of it, and my holes to hang the pot. All I got to do is make the wire for it. It's usually recommended to cut off the flower stalks, but I wanted to enjoy my flowers a little while longer before doing that. And then I will cut the flower stalks off so that it can focus on the root growth, and try to propagate some more orchids from the stems, where I saw a couple videos on propagating orchids from stems. That's where I'm at in this process.